Good morning, gorgeous. So I had a friend ask me to do a realistic what I eat in a day. So I figured I would indulge that, and it's a little weird for me to try and do that, but I figured I'd start early. So I usually wake up pretty early in the morning, but I always have 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Let's be real. Sorry about my face because it's early, like I said. But I'm all about balance personally, so I usually use my Keurig or my coffee pod, and I use real full sugar creamer just like a normal person. I tend not to go with like super heavy creamers like heavy cream. Normally it's coffee mate. I'm a pretty stickler for vanilla. All the sugar creamers taste gross, so I go with the real ones. I just make sure not to overindulge on my creamer. This week I'm actually trying some new ones that I found that are fruity pebbles flavored. Again, I like to try new things. Why not? It's fun. It's my little treat to get me going, and it's a very small indulgence, which is why it's kind of a calculated indulgence. But it gets my day going, and that's what's important. So I guess we should continue on.
So for breakfast, I typically have something lighter. In this case, I had some non-fat Greek yogurt with some berries, a little bit of honey, some almonds in there for some healthy fats. And then about an hour to an hour and a half before my workout, I usually have a protein bar because it's important to get that protein intake either before or after your workout, usually within about an hour. And then I obviously got my workout in this day.
So I just finished my workout, and normally on a Tuesday or Thursday, today's Tuesday, I would do a salad for lunch because I would have done a slightly heavier breakfast in the morning. This is just the way I tend to do things because I do a short run as well as my workout on Tuesday and Thursday. But today I didn't end up doing that. Part of the reason was because I didn't want to buy salads this week because sometimes we don't go through them all, and I'm going to be on this weekend, so I won't be able to kind of make sure that those get eaten. And so because of that, I'm going to make myself a sandwich. I do make some healthier stuff with that, which I love.
One of my favorite things to swap out is this bread. I talked about it before. It is a 30-calorie bread from Kroger. They have some different lower calorie options, but like, why waste your calories on that? And then I obviously have some protein chips from Quest, which are awesome. I highly, highly recommend them.
Okay, it's dinner time, and I have decided to make one super easy meal that I really like to make because I can make multiple batches of it and freeze it for later, and it is relatively cheap, which is also helpful, and it is an Italian bake. So you can make this with any vegetable, starch, and pretty much any meat. Typically, the recipe I go with is chicken, so I'm gonna get started. Basically, all it is chicken, a little bit of butter, and I'm a southerner, so I use real butter, but you can use another butter. I just find that the butter pellets make it a little bit easier to cook. And then whatever 2 vegetables or starches you want. So I am going to use some carrots and some potatoes, as well as some broccoli and butternut squash for another night, and I'm going to prep one. And then some zesty Italian seasoning. This is from Kroger or Ralph's, depending on where you're at. And yeah, literally you just pop it in, a little salt, pepper, a little bit of this right on top, and you cook it for about 45 minutes to an hour, and you can actually freeze it as well, so it makes it super easy. I figure while I'm doing this, it might be fun if I answered some getting to know you questions, so I'm gonna do that at the same time.
My camera's on. So anyway, continuing. So what is my favorite food? This is always like a basic question people like to ask, and I think it's because I work in LA, I work in the entertainment industry. I think from a live action standpoint, I would say The Gentleman. I think that it is a great film. I think that it's enjoyable every time I watch it. If I get so immersed that it's so believable and I can't find a flaw, then that makes it so much better for me because I'm so invested in the story. So I like when I can't find a problem. From an animated movie standpoint, definitely Toy Story 3. That movie has a special place in my heart. Toy Story, obviously a wonderful series, but specifically Toy Story 3, that movie is the one that got me into the work that I do every day. The question was, do I have a phobia? And I mean, if I said yes, that's not actually telling you what the phobia is. So I think really the question is, what if I have a phobia, what is it? And it's the idea of it's an illogical fear of something. Because this isn't something that's exactly gonna like keep me up at night, but I do have a fear of car washes, automatic car washes. So like, okay, listen, before you start with your judginess, because I can feel it, basically I'm a type A personality, okay? So when I get into a car and then they tell me to go and put my car in neutral while I'm in the driver's seat, as it's driving down this thing and I can't see and there are bubbles and it's loud, like how am I not supposed to freak out? Because then I have no control over the car if someone's in front of me and I'm about to hit it. Like I have no idea. Like that's just, there's so, no, just saying no. This isn't a very fair question, but it said outside of fitness, what's my favorite thing to do? What do you consider fitness? Like rock climbing? Is rock climbing fitness? Is aerial fitness? Because I don't, like that's very much a skill, so it's different to me. And so because of that, like I don't know. I think that question's a little weird. But if you were talking about a non-active activity, I used to love playing D&D. I still love D&D, but I don't play, unfortunately, anymore. So, like, I used to run campaigns. I also love watching movies. I love messing around with my planner. The next question was how I got into fitness. So around 2018, I was trying to really get into fitness, and I really started to watch my calorie intake and things like that. And I started to see results, which was weird for me. But I think what really got me into it was I was getting stronger in aerial because I was also losing this weight and I was pushing myself. I was going to the gym and I decided to run a marathon. And literally it was a spur of the moment kind of, I ran 4 miles one day just because I felt good. And I called up my boyfriend at the time and said, hey, I just ran 4 miles. Oh, that's great. I can run a marathon. And okay, do it. And ever since then, like that challenge I set in my brain and then overcome that was really a huge thing because then it's like, what else can I do? Okay, so now we're gonna cover this. Look how pretty that is. Cover that with foil and then we're gonna bake it for an hour. And now I prepped a second one so that if we don't want to cook dinner one night or I'm gone and Jim wants to make it, he has that. Okay, cherished childhood memories. Fun fact about me, I was the first ever junior reporter for the Dallas Morning News. It was called Scoop on the Beat. And there's no record of this anywhere. I think I have the only surviving tape. But I remember that at the time, like they couldn't pay me because I was not. So instead, they gave us season tickets to the Dallas Cowboys game, which is why I will forever be a Dallas Cowboys fan. I love football. It's been my life. What I remember is not only going and enjoying the games and things like that, and it was awesome. It was actually leaving. We would be stuck in traffic for 2 hours trying to leave the stadium and leave the game, and we would be listening to Toby Keith's album front to back, blasting it, singing at the top of our lungs, and it was so much fun. So now every time I hear those songs, like that's what I think of, and that was almost as much fun as the game to me. The last question I got, I love to skydive. What is an adventure I haven't done yet? This is weird because there are lots of adventures I haven't done yet. There are a number of things that I've
like places I've wanted to go and things, but there are a couple of very specific things, like in a small country called Palau, there is a place called Jellyfish Lake, where you can't scuba dive, but you can snorkel with these jellyfish, and there's thousands of them. Like, that's something that I think would be cool. If you're just talking a general activity, I've never done flying trapeze before, which seems super surprising because I love aerial as much as I do. Ironically, this one's kind of easy. Paintball. I've never gone paintballing, which is surprising because my brother was super into paintball and airsoft, and I've gone laser tagging and airsofting a ton before, but for whatever reason I've never done paintball. But you gotta do everything once, right? So one thing I realized I didn't really talk about today was what I'm drinking. Honestly, I kind of have this mental rule with myself that unless it's my 2 cups of coffee in the morning, I drink my water. This is, I think it's like 72 ounces, but basically I try and drink half my body weight worth of water at a minimum every day. More than half of the country is plagued with chronic dehydration because they don't realize that those hunger pings that you're getting is actually thirst, and they just don't drink enough water. So easy way to calculate it is generally your body weight divided by 2, and that's how many ounces, so fluid ounces. But I don't let myself have anything else unless I finish my water. Once I finish it, then it becomes like a treat. Normally I'll finish it around dinner because I'm trying to pace myself, and then it's like, oh, if I wanted a tea with a little bit of honey, or I wanted to make some sweet tea because I'm from the South, or it's the weekend and I wanted to have a drink with my husband or something like that, then it makes it a lot easier in my brain because it's like, oh, well, I've drank my water today, so I can do that. It also makes it more of a priority brain to actually do that, and so this makes it easy because I only fill it up once and I just carry it around. So once I bring my coffee cup back, I just fill it up, and once I'm done, then I can move on to other things. But yeah, so drink the water.
Ready? Here we go.
Ta-da!
That looks so good.